What's up, guys? Welcome back. And today we're going to be looking at a video of a man who is 61 years old and got fired and is now working more than ever before so that he can provide for himself. This is one of my biggest fears is me getting up there in age and I'm unable to provide for myself and hopefully a family by then because I just don't have the energy to do it because I'm old and decrepit and I really don't want that to happen. But I applaud this man for hustling still at that age. So let's go ahead and dive right into the video.
Okay, we are back. So I'm just heading over to my mother-in-law's actually. Gotta see her about a couple things, give her a hand. But in the meantime, I thought we would chat a little bit. So as I was saying in my intro, 7 months ago, I got let go from a job, terminated. You're fired. And it's probably I wouldn't say the best thing that ever happened to me, but it was.
No, it's definitely not the best thing that could happen to anyone losing their job, especially at that age. I hopefully he has some funds to lean on. I always recommend to everyone to set up their emergency fund, which will really give you a peace of mind when things like this happen, and they do happen. I could not believe it when I got laid off 8 months ago, and I was like, holy shit, and I'm so glad I had that emergency fund, which is now dry as fuck. So here I am working overtime.
Was something that happened, and you adapt and adjust. Now, if any of you've seen any of my other videos, which I'm sure some of you have, you'll recall that I took a couple months off for the summer because I had never had that much time off before in my life.
That tells me that this guy has been working his entire life, probably hustling 2 jobs, working a lot of hours. So he hasn't had that time to really enjoy, some personal time, just to reflect on things and what happened and evaluate what's going on in his life. And sometimes you have to do that. If you lose your job and that's all you do, work, like I can relate to that. So when I lost my job, I took some time off because I knew that when I get back into the grind, I will be working a lot. And for some people, you definitely need that time to recharge and evaluate.
And I thought, well, there'll be no problem. I'll get a job in the fall. But of course, I applied and I couldn't find any of your regular jobs where I would be an employee. So I ended up getting a position with Uber Eats, doing some delivery driving, for restaurants and Walmart sometimes, shopping pay orders, that type of thing.
And the job market, as you guys know, is really terrible right now. I have a couple of former coworkers at Tesla who lost their jobs as well. They got fired, and it's been probably 3 months for them, and they've been applying, and boy, they are struggling right now. They don't have no prospects at all. And if you get to that point, you get desperate enough, you will definitely have to drive door dashing, Uber Eats, and all those side gigs.
But that was okay, but it wasn't always paying enough. And being new at it, there was a bit of a learning curve because Uber Eats doesn't really teach you that much. I learned more from watching YouTube videos. Yes, I love YouTube. And I started doing okay. And when I was putting in the time, I was making $500 a week. But, there were still financial pressures and whatnot. So I decided, well, you know what I'm going to also do? I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And
hey, this guy's doing the same thing I'm doing. But $500 a week, boy, that is not a lot. Man, that is struggle life here in the US or in California. $500 a week, that is not getting you far at all.
Believing that it could take years before you ever get monetized, if you ever do. But fortunately, I had a few videos that struck a chord with some of you folks, because there seems to be a lot of us out here in the world that are have lost their jobs, have been fired, been laid off unexpectedly at a later age, and it's difficult, very difficult, if not impossible, to get rehired.
Yeah, he shares the same sentiment that I do. And if you have a job out there right now, you should really be grateful and that you have an income right now. And as I mentioned earlier, if you haven't started yet, you should really, really try to have an emergency fund to survive whatever life throws at you, which life will throw at you.
And that's what I was finding. I was finding it very difficult, impossible actually, to get a real, I say a real job, but I mean, an employee with benefits and, the 9 to 5 or 7:30 to 4 or that type of thing. So what choice did I have? I saw some driving positions because I started to kind of enjoy doing the delivery driving. But having said that, it was because I was kind of my own boss, and I could decline certain orders if they were, paid $6 to travel 30 kilometers. Of course, I was going to decline that, but
Uber Eats and using your car for, like door dashing and all that, you got to factor into the amount of maintenance and gasoline that you have to utilize on your shifts, because that eats into your profit. It's a side gig, but man, I don't know how some people make a living off of that full time. They have to be driving like 80 hours a week just to get by and make decent money. But you got to do what you got to do.
And we will address a few things here as to why I'm busier and working more now than I did when I was an employee. So stick around. Okay, yeah, so I was just saying that, so after I started doing my Uber Eats, I continued to look for other work, and like I say, just couldn't find anything. So what I ended up doing was started looking for delivery driving jobs, and I came across this one company that was looking for courier drivers, but they were independent contractors is what they were. And I thought, well, you know what? I actually kind of enjoy doing this. And they were saying you could make $150 or more per day. So that's what I did. I applied there and got on with them. So that was great. So I'm happy about that.
I just noticed that he's really, really positive, with this, taking it really well. And, he's not on the internet crying about it like I did when I lost my job.
We're just heading out the door here. Oops, sorry about that. And it was great. So I started working for those folks December 19th. Here we go. Now we're outside, and it is snowing like crazy. But it's not that cold, but it is snowing. Hello. So it's like you say, the wind makes it a little bit chilly. Just 1 second here. I gotta lift up the lid here. 1 second, folks. My apologies again, but this is life. A lot of you said you like my videos because they're authentic.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I think most YouTubers who are authentic, they tend to do better. At least that's the idea. I try to be authentic with you guys and for whoever is watching and keeping up with the videos. I'm grateful that you are watching, and thank you so much.
And They are the real deal. Nothing fancy. I'm not doing fancy edits. I'm just trying to be authentic as I can be. And this is a beautiful area, actually, of the city here. Right here, you can see there's a walking path, and there's a pond, which is really nice.
Yeah, and also if you notice, he is, he's just enjoying the small, appreciating the small things in life, nature, and he is more focused on what really matters. At the end of the day, money, it's important, right? But, reflecting on the things in life, the little things we encounter every day, just to be grateful about it. That's wholesome.
And a bunch of apartments and whatnot. So these are kind of similar to some of the seniors' residences that I go to. But now we're gonna get back in my vehicle and get out of the wind and the rain and the snow. What do they call it? Sleet? I think they call it sleet, right? Okay, there we go. Now we'll continue our conversation. So I got on with this company and started working with those folks. And sometimes I'm working 8, 9, 10 hours a day if it comes to that, if it's required, if it's necessary. And I don't mind it. It'll be a lot nicer in the summertime when I can do this and it's daylight. Sometimes.
Yeah, working in the winter, especially if you're exposed to the elements, that's tough. On the weekends, like Fridays and Saturdays, sometimes I have to work 15 hours on each day, back to back. Come Sunday, boy, all I'm doing Sunday is laying on the couch, eating, sleeping all day, literally, so I can recover and get back into the grind on Monday. And that's me at pretty much 39 years old. This guy is working a lot of hours at 61. I can only imagine, and I'm hoping I don't get to that point.
Sometimes it's kind of hard to find or to see the addresses, as I mentioned before, both with the Uber Eats and with this company. But it is what it is. You gotta hustle, gotta keep busy. So, in a nutshell, I am busier now than I was, and I'm working longer hours with my 2 delivery driving positions, doing videos for YouTube. I'm trying to do a video every day or every other day. I feel like I owe you folks, I have an obligation to you folks as well to put out some videos, try to be authentic, try to be entertaining if I can sometimes. Not always, but I try to be. I'm trying to do some new things here and there.
And starting a YouTube channel, guys, it is a lot harder than you think. If you think you can do it and you think it's easy to put yourself out there on the internet and, share your life. And not only that, just to have this self motivation to, fire up a video, create content, but you have to push yourself, like literally, like a mindset. I have to produce something and make content, because no one else is going to do it for you. That's probably like one of the toughest things I had to like learn and find out about myself. And I'm sure this guy has gone through it and is going through it as well. But it's not easy. I know you're probably out there if you're like in a trades, working a very physical job, and it's a different struggle. So that is that, guys. I'm trying to think what I could do to avoid this situation. And at 61 years old, he's working 2 delivery driving jobs, and that's not the ideal place to be, obviously. I'm sure he would prefer that he is doing something else and has a more stable career, because it's so important for you to have that, at least the financial security to provide for yourself and not have to rely on delivering things at the age of 61, driving Uber Eats and DoorDash or whatever it is they mentioned. And, I'm 39, as I mentioned, and I'm trying to obviously do my best to, by the time that I'm his age, I don't have to worry about that as much. I would, prefer to be busy and occupied. Obviously, I don't want to just sit on my butt all day, but I want to have that financial part in my life to be taken care of at that point, and I don't have to worry about it. So that if I lose a job, I am scot-free. I don't have to worry about it anymore. And I'm hoping you are planning for that as well as I am. And if it takes you or me, doing YouTube for years on end just to have that security, that extra security, that extra money, then so be it. Then go do it. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next time.